This is the next topic in third module, Economics of Metal Cutting Operation. Introduction. Production costs and production rates are of vital interest to the manufacturing engineer. Although in practice, a high production rate would probably mean low production costs, and it should be pointed out that these two factors must be considered separately, and that the manufacturing conditions giving maximum production rate will not be identical to those conditions giving minimum cost of production. Analysis of production costs and production rates can be a complicated subject, and in many cases, the analysis will apply only to the particular operation in question. However, experience gained over the years has led to certain empirical rules or guiding principles for choosing the optimum cutting conditions for a given machining operation. And it is the objective of this chapter to illustrate how these principles can be used. For example, the raw material must be brought to the first machine and placed in the machine, and when the first machining process is completed, the component must be removed, stacked, or stored temporarily, transported eventually to the second machine tool, and so on. It is found in practice that the cost of handling components between machines can be a substantial proportion of the total manufacturing cost. However, it is not proposed here to discuss the problem of material handling, but to analyze those factors involved in a particular machining operation. It will be assumed that the components are stacked next to the machine tool, ready to be grasped by the operator, and that the operator will stack the machine components conveniently near to the machine tool. Choice of feed. When a finishing cut is to be taken, the appropriate feed will be that which gives an acceptable surface finish. In this case, the choice of feed is in the hands of the designer, who will have specified the surface finish requirements. To explain how the appropriate feed is chosen in a roughing operation, it is first necessary to consider the relative effects of cutting speed and feed on tool life. It can be concluded from the work that if changes in cutting speed affect neither the geometry of the cutting operation nor the specific energy consumption, the tool temperatures are a function of the thermal number. Thus, equal changes in speed or feed should affect tool temperatures by the same amount. However, an increase in feed will not affect the relative speed of sliding at the varying surface of the tool, whereas the speed of sliding will change in proportion to the cutting speed. Since tool wear is a function of both temperature and relative speed of sliding, it can be appreciated that increases in cutting speed will result in a greater reduction in tool life than similar increases in feed. Choice of cutting speed. Two distinct criteria can be used in choosing the cutting speed for a machining operation: minimum production cost and minimum production time. The optimum cutting speed giving minimum production cost in a constant cutting speed operation, such as cylindrical turning, will first be considered. In this case, the time spent by the operator and the machine in producing a batch of components can be separated into three items. First one, the non-productive time given by NBTL, where TL is the time taken to load and unload each component and to return the tool to the beginning of the cut. Second one, the total machining time given by NBTM, where TM is the machining time for the component. Third one, the total time involved in changing own tools given by NT-TCT, where TCT is the tool changing time and NT is the number of tools used. This is a graph where tool life T is plotted against cutting speed V. This is the figure which indicates appropriate values of the cutting speed VR when tool life TR is equal to 60 seconds, where cutting speed is plotted against tensile strength.